Hello and welcome to City Stadium here in Richmond, Virginia, where the Richmond Kickers are hosting top of the table Louisville City FC. Did I pronounce that correctly? I am Darryl Grove. He is Taylor Rockwell.
He is. I think you got it close. Louisville, yeah.
Louisville?
Uh-huh. Close
All
enough.
right. How about Lou City FC?
That's probably the way to go. That's probably the more conventional way, I'd say.
So big game for the Kickers here at City Stadium. I want to say this is the best opposition the Richmond Kickers have faced, at least in terms of table position.
I'd say so.
Shall we start with the Lou City FC starting lineup?
Sure. Starting goal for Louisville is Greg Ranjitsingh. From left to right, you've got a back four of Ben Newman, Tarek Murad, Sean Reynolds, and Kyle Smith.
Ooh, can I stop you a second?
You may.
No Connor Shinosky.
No Connor Shinosky.
We were expecting him.
Also, no former Kickers player started up top, but scored a goal for them last week.
George Davis IV.
GD4, there we are. So no former Richmond Kickers in the starting 11. We'll see if that changes.
So that's maybe a deliberate thing?
Maybe it's like the who is it when it was coaching Roma? Claudio Ranieri, when he was the Roma coach, basically didn't start Daniel De Rossi, didn't start Francesco Totti because he thought they'd be too up for it, they'd be too amped against Lazio. So maybe this is the same situation. He was worried they'd be too amped for Richmond.
Or maybe Shinosky and Davis IV are just tired because Lou City FC have played a lot of games in the past few days.
Well, there is also that they did have to go to penalties to get past, I believe, Detroit City FC. Anyway, moving back to the lineup, in the 4-2-3-1, we've got Aidan Quinn and Guy Abend in the middle.
Yeah, that holding midfielders?
Yes, and then you've got Andrew Lubin, Niall McCabe, and Mark Anthony Kay as your three attacking midfielders. And then up top,
it's that man.
All by himself.
It's that man.
Number 17, Chandler Hoffman.
Chandler Hoffman, scorer of a hat-trick against Cincinnati. I think top scorer in USL. The man with the left foot we need to fear.
we do indeed. Starting for the Richmond Kickers in a kind of a similar 4-2-3-1.
Absolutely, yeah, two similar teams.
We've got in goal, Charlie Horton. Returning.
Back.
Yep, and then your back four, you've got Alex Lee, Hugh Roberts, William Yombi, Braden Troyer. Your two holding midfielders would be Samuel Sante, Lucas Paolini. Your three attackers, Luis Fernando, maybe Brian Ownby in the middle. We're not entirely sure, or it could be Miguel Aguilar.
Yeah, we'll see how those three line up, but they'll definitely be the attacking midfielders. And then your target man, unbeatable in the air, Jason Yaisley.
Jason Yaisley, number 17. It's a battle of number 17s up top for the respective teams.
It is, and two kind of different styles in that they're similar, but the Kickers like to get the ball to Yaisley's head.
Yes.
Whereas Lou City like to get the ball to Hoffman's feet.
It seems that way as we're setting up here for the national anthem. We may take a break in a second, but as we wait for that, we'll say, yeah, it does seem like it's a similar approach, albeit from a different tactical standpoint.
All right, we are going to take a break here for the national anthem. And we are just 2 minutes from kickoff here at City Stadium. Taylor, we were talking about sort of the tactical setup. Both teams, as far as I can see, like to have attacking fullbacks.
Yep.
Both teams have sort of quick wingers. They look for combinations down the side. I feel like the Kickers, I haven't seen them this season face a team that does it as well, or maybe better, than they do.
I think they haven't faced a team, at least at home, that's done the fluidity of the attack that we've seen Louisville do, especially against St. Louis FC, especially against Toronto FC 2. Mm-hmm. And what we saw in those games was basically those wingers in the 4-2-3-1 coming inside at times to create a lot of players in the middle, to create those opportunities out wide for the fullbacks to get forward. But then you'd also have those wingers staying wide and the center backs kind of pinging balls in on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's a multifaceted attack is how I'll describe the Louisville FC attack.
But I'll be interested to see how far forward the fullbacks, Carl Smith and Ben Newman, how far forward they get this away game here at City Stadium.
And especially, as you mentioned, given the sheer number of games that Louisville has played recently,
Yeah.
how tired those legs are going to be, especially on the road. Are they going to be maybe so eager to get forward as they are in other games?
Well, they are youthful legs.
This is very true.
Every player on the field was born in the 1990s. That means there's no one older than 26.
Frightening
for you.
Does
that math work out?
Yep. I know 28. Because I think GD4 is the oldest player on the roster at the age of 28. But on the field, yeah, I think you're right, yeah. So, and it is weird, right? So you born in the 1970s, me born in the 1980s. I don't know quite how I feel about it. I think the average age, I did the math, I used an Excel spreadsheet because I'm fancy like that. I think the average age for Lou City FC is 24.3. That's a young team we see out there huddled up.
Do you know the kicker's average age?
I'm going to say older.
It's more, right? More.
Yes, more. More is their average age. But I guess we'll find out tonight if that's more in terms of experience or more in terms of mileage. But it does seem like it's going to be a pretty open affair, maybe with the kickers favoring that direct play, especially given that Richmond has, I think it's been raining for at least the past 72 days. So
It's a slick surface.
We'll wonder how much that will play into things. No rain as of yet, but it is a very overcast, a very windy day here at City Stadium. Whether that will have an impact, we shall see.
I think another thing to keep an eye on is going to be Chandler Hoffman, the way he runs in behind defences, gets his left foot on the end of those through balls, and you'll see Hugh Roberts and William Yumby tracking him. It's going to be that thing where they have to sort of trade off about who's marking him.
And they just traded off hugs, did the back four. Everybody hugged each other. So you know at least that they've got that connection going early.
Let's hope they stay that tight.
The one that I would keep an eye on if you're a Richmond fan or a neutral would be Luis Fernando out here on the right wing.
Yeah,
just because, as I said, you do have that kind of compactness from Lou City at times. So it'll be interesting to see how he exploits the amount of space that he may find himself in this game.
I wonder how much of Lou City's compactness is about the baseball stadium. They play at Slugger Field with a narrow field. We'll see how they play on this slightly wider field here at City Stadium. And we are underway. Kickers kick off. Samuel Asante has the ball on his right foot. Looking around for options. Goes back to William Yumby. Yumby on his right foot. Looks like he's going to go long. Yumby, big diagonal. Luis Fernando loses out in the air to Newman. It's collected by Aguilar, who loses out to McCabe. Aguilar comes back with it though. Aguilar down the right. Comes in field. On his right foot. Goes for the low pass, blocked by McCabe. Yaisley gets it wide. To Luis Fernando. Cross from Luis Fernando to the far post. Keeper comes, then goes back. Headed out by Carl Smith.
It could easily just be early doors here, Daryl, but it absolutely looked like Louisville had just dropped into a 4-4-1-1. So we'll see if that was maybe just an early transition off kickoff, or if it is something maybe they're going to change it up a little bit, play a little bit more defensive away from home, try to keep their standing atop the Eastern Conference.
All right, throw in on the left, goes short. Yaisley gives it back, and back into Jason Yaisley, but it's run too long. It's going to go all the way to the keeper. Keeper Ranjit Singh pushing his teammates forward. They do like to play short out of the back. I'll be interested to see if the kickers let them do it or if they put pressure on. Yaisley answers the question by running at Ranjit Singh.
I feel like you all coordinated that sequence.
This time Ranjit Singh's going to go long. Oh, he kicks low. It's won by the kickers and won back by Quinn. And then Murad has it in the back. Plays short. Exchanges passes with Quinn. Murad squares to Reynolds, the guy we did not expect to see today. Doing fine so far though. He's got that ball out right to Smith. Smith comes forward. He's got McCabe inside. He finds the feet of McCabe. Kicker's backing off a bit. Smith has this on the right. Smith brings it forward slowly. Crosses. Hits Paulini in the backside. Paulini cannot save it going out for a corner kick.
Hopefully I won't have to keep updating this every minute or so, but it does look like as maybe the game has adjusted a little bit, as Lou City has gotten the ball, gotten it forward, it has shifted back into that 4-2-3-1 that we expected them to come out of.
Yeah. I think it's just more of a defensive pose. Maybe it's 4-4-1-1 when they're defending, 4-2-3-1 when they're attacking. It's all about those wingers pushing forward.
Might could be as the corner comes in.
Headed out by Ombi. Collected by Asante. Laid forward. It looks like Aguilar has won a throw-in for the Richmond kicker. So how are Ownby and Aguilar lining up? Who's left and who's centre?
It looks as though they are switching off a little bit. Generally speaking, it looks like it's Ownby in the middle, Aguilar on the left. But as we've seen time and time again with the Richmond kickers this season, those three attackers are not afraid to switch. Exactly.
Which is exactly what they've just done. Yombi now squares it to Hugh Roberts in the back. Roberts to Asante. Asante's got lots of space in front of him. Fernando under pressure from Kay. Fernando maintains position, gives it to Paulini. Paulini looks wide, back to Samuel Asante, his midfield partner. Oh, Asante tried to cut inside. Kay dispossessed him. Now Kay's away down the left. Lou City players getting into the box. Kay's going for the byline. Asante's cut him off. Still has possession. Asante's fanned the feet of Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando with the rollover and a cut inside and a little burst. Here he goes. Left-footed pass into Aguilar. Kickers on the break. Aguilar still going. He has Ombi to his left. Ombi has Troya overlapping. Ombi bringing the ball slowly, gives it to Troya down the left. Cross comes in, headed out by Morad.
You look at the runs there from Alex Lee and Jason Yaisley, definitely favoring the back post there, so I think maybe anticipating a deeper ball in from Braden Troya. Instead it goes short, headed out for a throw into the Richmond Kickers.
Was that a failure of technique or just a change of Braden Troya's mind?
I would say maybe it was him trying to get the ball in as quickly as he could because he was coming under some pressure. It was that kind of transitional cross, and I think maybe he just didn't quite get the delivery he was hoping for.
We'll see what sort of throwing gets delivered here. Pretty big one. It's going to find the 6-yard box. Bounce through. Who did it come off?
Came off of Lou City FC defender, so we've got a corner kick to the Richmond Kickers. And we have Aguilar going out to take the corner. We'll see what the Kickers do here. We'll see how Lou City also mark up. It appears to be man-to-man with a man or two free.
Yep. Old-fashioned man-to-man marking.
No zonal marking for you, Mr. Grove. I know you prefer it, but not today.
I like hybrid. I like hybrid marking. When done correctly. Corner comes in from Aguilar.
It's a key
Ranjit
distinction
Singh
there.
slaps it clear. That's sort of 2 palms up to get it clear. Aguilar out left, still has the ball. Many, many step overs. Manages to get a cross in. Headed out by Quinn. And cleared by McCabe.
Daryl, I know you're not the flashiest of players. What
How
qualifies
dare
as
you?
many?
How very dare
what
you?
qualifies as many step overs?
That
to
many?
you?
That was like 7.
So 2?
That was 7.
Was it 7?
It was a lot.
We might need to replay that.
It was more like 4. It was too many to count on the broadcast, let's put it that way. And everyone knows when you can't count the number, the answer is many. Sliding tackle, back pass, Ranjit Singh gets there, clears it.
I think that's the attention to detail our listeners have really come to expect.
Alex Lee to Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando holding off Lou City players. Ranjit Singh's kicking not all that sure-footed so far, I want to say.
All I can figure is that maybe there's a little bit more wind on the field than we're feeling up here under a tent. So it might be that maybe he's just trying to cut out that wind by playing low, playing hard, but it does seem like maybe it's not generous. Hey, I'm just looking for reasons, just looking for possibilities.
Sante gives it to William Yombi in the back. Yombi squares it to Hugh Roberts. Hugh Roberts goes wide to Alex Lee. Alex Lee has Paulini, has Roberts. Gives it to Roberts. Taylor, would you take a look at what Lou City are doing in the back as the Kickers possess in their half of the field?
Well, they're defending, Daryl.
But are they? What sort of shape are they in? Yeah, I could find someone else to partner me on this broadcast. But diagonal ball out right goes over Alex Lee. That's not true. I couldn't.
Oh, Kickaroo came up here last week.
He did. Maybe
Get him on mic.
here. Yaisley intercepts the back pass. It's gone out for a Lou City FC throw-in. I'm gonna try one more time. Louisville.
Yeah, I think you got it. Expect some messages about that one, but yeah, sounds good to me.
Well, I was told that even the people of Louisville don't all agree on how to pronounce it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Kickers win the ball back from the throw-in. Luis Fernando tried the nutmeg, didn't get it, did get a throw-in. Paulini throws quick. Ombi heads it into the box. Heads it square. Cleared by Lou City FC. Alex Lee wins the header in the air. Bit of ping-pong. Kay collects. Kay comes out with it. Kay dispossessed by Luis Fernando. Good work from him there. Alex Lee back to Hugh Roberts. Roberts lifts it forward. Too easy to cut out.
Remember that time that I said there might be wind on the field?
Yeah.
I think you can hear it on the mic. But regarding your question, Daryl, and feel free to break in if anything particularly exciting happens, it does seem like Louisville are keeping their defenders spread to maybe counteract that front three, that attacking three from the Richmond Kickers. So rather than go compact, even just then when there was space out wide and Kyle Smith could have come in just to provide a little more defensive cover, he stayed stretched, stayed wide. So I think that's something they're looking to do. Make sure you don't get any fast breaks down the wing.
Isn't that potentially dangerous because you leave gaps between fullbacks and centre?
Absolutely. Whether or not the Richmond Kickers exploit that remains to be seen.
It's going to be Charlie Hutton with the kick for the Richmond Kickers. Matt Turner did well in his loan spell.
He did.
With the Kickers.
It's good to have Charlie back, though.
Yeah, we saw Charlie Hutton play pre-season friendly against UVA. Right? Hugh Roberts on the ball. goes right to Alex Lee. Lee's looking down the line. Goes big and long, looking for the run of Aguilar. Intercepted and out of play. It's going to be a Richmond kickers throw-in on the right-hand side. Alex Lee to take. Lee finds the feet of Fernando. Fernando gives it him back. Alex Lee has the ball. Alex Lee lifts it into Paolini. Very delicate. He's put it out right to Yaisley. Yaisley goes low. Cross is blocked. Aguilar collects, gives it him back with a back heel. Yaisley crosses low. Headed clear this time. Diving. Is that a diving header or a stooping header?
It's a clearing header. More interesting to me than that is it looks like Yaisley has maybe already had a bit of contact, given that it looks like the back of his jersey has been ripped.
Oh, really?
I can see a fair amount of Jason Yaisley's right kidney area. So I'm thinking maybe there was a scrap that we might not have seen.
Asante managed to get the ball off of Kay. Now Asante with the ball. He goes back to Hugh Roberts. Yeah, we keep an eye on what appears to be a developing battle.
I shall do my best. But you can see the jersey kind of flapping awkwardly, and if he turns around here, you'll spot his right side exposed.
I see it.
Or maybe that's just how he works. Maybe it's ventilated.
Asante brings the ball out the back. Gives it to Alex Lee, the right back. Lee gives it him back. Kickers seem in no rush to get it forward.
They do not. I think they're basically trying to pick their spots, get it long, and then it almost looks like basically playing for the clearance out of bounds to then set up possession off of the throw-in, off of maybe kind of a little bit more sustained possession out wide.
Well, eventually Asante goes wide to Ownby. Now Paolini on the ball. Paolini into the feet of Aguilar to Troyer. Troyer back to Paolini. Paolini chips down the channel looking for Ownby's run. Flag is up on the far side.
Very late flag. There was enough time for all of the defense to look, raise their arms in protest, to keep those arms in protest, and then eventually the flag went
Well, they
up.
seemed very confident about the offside.
It might have been that the linesman was waiting to see if it went out for the goal kick. When it didn't go out for the goal kick, that's when the offside was awarded. Because that flag went up a good 8 yards past where the kick is presently being taken.
All right, we'll see how far can Richardson kick it. That's more like it, right? That's up in the air and over the back of the Richmond Kicks defense, almost. Hugh Roberts gets his head there first. It's collected by Reynolds in the back. Reynolds gives it to Carl Smith. Smith gives it him back. There's more pressure from the kickers forward line than I've seen in a while, right? You see Luis Fernando chasing.
You can, but you can also see the problems with chasing because it leaves those opportunities out wide for Ben Newman to exploit.
Yep, and Newman has put it down the line for Kay to chase. Kay's one-on-one in the corner with Alex Lee. Holds him off. Kay fires it across, headed clear. Collected in midfield. Lou City have it. Nice turn from Morad. And a ball in behind Alex Lee. Kay, it's going to be too long for Kay to get there.
Seems like Lou City have adjusted pretty well to the width and sheer length of this City Stadium field.
Mm-hmm.
They are keeping that width. They are definitely drawing the kickers in, anticipating that pressure, and then playing off of it, allowing for those counterattacks that we've seen so far.
All right, Charlie Houghton with the goal kick. Kick is long and to the right. It's for Yaisley to challenge. It comes off of Kay, I believe. Yep, it's going to be a Richmond kickers throw-in on this right-hand side. Lee takes it quick to Asante. Asante gives it him back. It was a little short. Well, kickers get the free kick, but I feel like that was pretty much Asante's fault. Hospital pass, I believe they call that.
Also some words exchanged between Alex Lee and now McCabe. We'll see how that situation develops as the game progresses.
Ownby chips it right, looking for Luis Fernando. Ball bounces out of bounds. Fernando couldn't get there. It's going to be another goal kick to Lou City FC.
I think Lou City also anticipating that directness from the Richmond kickers. As we saw in that last goal kick from Charlie Horton, you basically had all the kickers packed in the middle as you do when you're trying to win that goal kick. Mm-hmm. You had all four of those Lou City defenders backed off a good 5 yards.
So they knew the flick on was coming.
Yeah, so not looking to be up on the back of the Richmond kickers players and win that header, happy to sit back and win that second ball when it comes through.
Timing for the second ball.
It's almost like your request that I watch the defense has paid off. So credit to you there. Good, sir.
Lee gives it to Asante. Asante in a big diagonal dribble, then goes left. It's with Yambi. Yambi under pressure, gives it to Horton. Kicker's done a good job of not letting Hoffman have too much of the ball so far. It seems like Lou City have gone down the wings but haven't managed to get it into Hoffman's feet.
I think maybe I'm always wary of the rope-a-dope, that they're trying to find those opportunities out wide to keep the kicker stretched, and then you can exploit 1v1 opportunities.
Flick on from Aguilar. Yaisley wins the physical battle, and I think wins a free kick. No, other way. Red Army not impressed with that decision.
I'm not sure our cameraman was impressed with that decision.
Reynolds brings the ball out the back for Lou City. Into the feet of Carl Smith. Are we going to see a replay of that foul?
It looks like maybe the foul given not even for the contact, but for Yaisley's playing the ball while on the ground. Maybe that's the dangerous play call. It looked like it was a bit of a bump there that sent him falling.
This isn't indoor. You can play the ball on the ground.
You can indeed. Goal kick now to be taken by Charlie Horton. But you can see the gap here between the Richmond kickers, attackers who are going to try to win that ball, and then the Lou City defender standing off a good couple yards.
Ball is won by Newman and Fernando. Fernando dispossesses him. Fernando dribbling backwards, under pressure, still has the ball. Still under pressure, still has the ball. Now he's lost out. Ball is with Quinn. Fernando blocks Quinn's pass down the left. Now Sante deflects it, but Lou City maintain possession. It's with McCabe. McCabe into the feet of Kay. Nice first time ball down the wing there, he's onside. Collected by McCabe. McCabe up against Luis Fernando. Cuts left to Kay. Kay, I think, tried the sort of turn flick nutmeg on Alex Lee, gets a throw in instead of a highlight reel.
From the back, Ranjitsingh not impressed by that that little moment of creativity. I think much would have preferred if Lou City kept the ball and swung it around. At least that's what his screaming would indicate.
Carl Smith has it now for Lou City. Carl Smith goes down the line. It's going to be a throw-in.
I think that actually might have been Braden Troyer and Lubin battling for the ball there. Now Carl Smith, it looks like, taking this throw-in.
And Lubin has it. Lubin shoots left-footed. That's going to be one of those shots that goes out for a throw-in. Luis Fernando to take. Alex Lee says, no, I'll take it.
The Red Army kindly letting Lubin know what they thought of that shot.
And of course the Red Army, all professional soccer players in this.
Of course.
Every last one of
them. All know proper technique, every last one of them.
Alex Lee throws down the line. We might hear about that.
We've played with a few of them.
Yeah.
I think we can say that with some confidence. We have Aguilar, looks like with a hurt forearm, maybe?
Yeah.
Refs called stoppage to see quite what's wrong. We have the trainer coming onto the field for the kickers. I didn't see any contact there. Did you see, Mr. Grove?
I didn't know, but I do see Yaisley going off maybe to get his shirt replaced.
It's a safe bet. You can see just above the 18, about 10 yards out, you can see the little scrap of red from the jersey. It's a monument to the physicality of the Richmond Kickers game.
Or to Lou City's game.
Or that.
All right, thoughts so far, Taylor? Anything that you see that's particularly impressed you from either team?
Thus far, no. It's been a pretty open game, more open than I thought. I would have expected to see Lou City with a little more of possession. Richmond, again, as we talked about, maybe being a little bit more direct. But so far, it's been a little bit of both from both sides.
I've seen Richmond sort of slowly possessing in the back, and then it's almost like they wait until they've drawn Lou City out a little bit, and then they try that diagonal to try and get in behind. But it hasn't properly worked so far. We are only a few minutes in, right? What, 16 minutes in?
We are, and we see William Yambi pushing that entire Richmond back line all the way up a good 20 yards. They were pretty deep, now all at midfield, with the exception of Alex Lee.
So we now have Jason Yaisley wearing number 3. Yeah, Taylor, update our notes. Thank you. So we're not confused. Like, who's number 3?
I heard the stadium announcer say for the kickers number 3. And I was like, what's happened now? So now it all makes sense. Thank you, sir.
All right, Ranjit Singh with a long ball out the back. Chested, Carl Smith has it. Carl Smith loses out. It's going to be a Richmond kickers throw in. Braden Troyer with the ball. Troyer goes short to Paulini. Paulini back to Troyer. Troyer all the way back to William Yambi. Yambi to Roberts. Roberts gives it short to Samuel Asante. Asante looking to get over the top for Yaisley. Morad is there. I'm pretty impressed with Morad so far.
It's been very good positioning and good defensive headers to keep that ball away from the head or chest or foot of Jason Yaisley.
And then just smooth on the ball when he's got it. I've seen some nice turns and some nice sort of cheeky little passes that you don't normally see centre-backs be brave enough to make.
Spoken like a center back.
Nice one too, Alex Lee and Paulini. Lee goes down the line to Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando Morad steps across and wins it. Whoa, Morad shepherded and shielded that a good 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, I feel like I know who I'm going to back in that, physical battle there. Yeah. It's the one who's probably got a good 50 pounds on the other. That would be Morad. It's
still always a dangerous thing to do, though, right? Because the other player can run around you. That's what I always try to do. If I'm in Luis Fernando's situation, I try and just run around the other side and at least make him turn.
So yeah, strangely, I would say it's due more to the craftiness of the player than it is the pace. Because you can have that player who can put a little bit of pressure on your back, and so you'll step one way and then they run the other.
Yeah.
Whereas a pacey player, you might just be able to body off the ball. Regardless, it was well done. And it's a free kick to Richmond right in midfield.
To be taken by Aguilar.
Hugh Robertson, William Yambi now drifting forward. I think we have an idea of what the kickers are going to do with this free kick.
Yeah, you have Yaisley, Roberts and Yambi all in more or less the same spot, so I think the ball's going to be put up for those guys to challenge. Paulini to take. Paulini into the box. He went for Ombi in the end. Ranjit Singh is off his line to get it. Is that a decoy?
I'm not sure.
Or an overhit ball.
I think it was a ball looking for Jason Yaisley. And interesting there, the other person who was looking for Jason Yaisley was the center referee, who I think was looking to see if there was any pulling any more contact in the box, because as that ball was delivered, that's where her eyes were throughout that entire sequence of play.
I mean, there are only so many ripped jerseys we can afford in one game. It's Kay on the ball. Kay holding off Asante. Gives it to Quinn. Quinn goes out right. Finds the feet of Kyle Smith. Smith back to Quinn, but it's intercepted by Aguilar. And now Aguilar loses out to Arband. Reynolds all the way back to his keeper. Ranjit Singh back to Reynolds. Newman's been calling for the ball here on this far side. Didn't get it, now he's going to come back in field. Oh, nice flick pass. Yambi's going to get there first though. Yambi gives it to Charlie Horton, who left-footed, hits it high, and it's won in the air by Lou City. Troyer wins it. Bit of a scramble for the ball. Lifted into the box, or top of the box by Carl Smith. Headed out by Asante. Luis Fernando waited too long. Newman has it. Newman into the box for Kay. Luis Fernando went to ground, got a toe in.
With the exception of that Luis Fernando tackle there, that was 3 or 4 instances. There was 3 or 4 instances in a row of the Richmond kickers not being as determined to get to the ball, as physical on the ball as are Lou City.
You just saw Ranjit Singh off his line very quickly again there to beat Brian Omby to it.
But that was basically, it was up end in the middle, 1-2 different aerial duels, then it goes out wide, then it's Luis Fernando who kind of takes his time, and that's what allows this corner kick to happen. So Lou City maybe getting into the game a bit more as the corner comes in here.
Corner comes in low to the near post. It's cleared, but it's collected by Newman at the top of the box. Newman with the side foot volley. Horton saves.
Some protest there from the Lou City players, nothing given. Horton saves, Horton holds the ball and pushes the kickers forward.
The ball is thrown out left, intercepted. Braden Troyer's going to get to the rebound. Troyer gives it back to Horton. We see the replay, it's that sort of sliced cross from Newman.
In the meantime, we have Aguilar driving forward, surrounded by 3 players, eventually dispossessed. Lou City with the ball now.
He ran into a forest of Lou City players there. McCabe comes away. McCabe out right to Luban. Luban gives away a free kick. Ball's going to be played from the floor. Free kick to the Richmond kickers.
Lou City head coach James O'Connor not impressed with that decision, giving the arms wide open appeal for, are you sure that was a foul? And now having a word with the 4th official as a result.
It looks like Braden Troyer's assessed all his options, and I think he's going to go long. Troyer lifts it, looking for Yaisley. Yaisley against Morad. Morad wins. Paulini slowly dribbles forward, finds the fit of Omby. Omby dispossessed. Here come Lou City with Kay. Mark Anthony Kay. He's got Newman overlapping. Nice step over and pass. Newman keeps it in. Newman holds off Luis Fernando, turns and turns again. And goes all the way back to Morad.
We had some off-the-wall words there and a little bit of shoving between Brian Ownby and Aiden Quinn. We'll see how that one develops as well. It's getting feisty here at City Stadium.
In the corner we have Yombi and I think it was Luban or McCabe, I'm not sure from here. It's going to be a Lou City throw. Lou City throw into the feet of McCabe. He gets it back. Cuts inside. Turn a shot from the top of the box. Horton saves and it got away from him a little bit, but he held it. He rolls it out quickly to Alex Lee. Alex Lee's gesturing forward. Alex Lee goes long. Yaisley trying to get him behind. Morad is there. Nice gentle little header to the feet of Newman. Newman comes out with it. Ball outright to Kyle Smith. Smith looking for Luban, intercepted. Ball pops up. Paulini takes it. Paulini dispossessed. Hoffman out left to Kay. Kay up against Lee. Paulini calmly gives it to Alex Lee, the right back. Lee's ball intercepted by Arbin. Now Kay has it again. Hoffman runs off. Kay shoots high and wide. I think you might hear about that from Hoffman.
You might. I think the kickers may also hear about their first half performance thus far from Lee Kalishaw, because it seems, again, Daryl, like anytime there's any pressure on a kicker's player, it's one touch too many. It's a little bit sloppy. We're seeing a lot of turnovers that we wouldn't usually see. The man in particular just then was Lucas Paulini. Paulini usually very calm in the middle, able to get a touch, play quickly, but has been dispossessed twice now from taking an awkward first touch. So maybe just a little bit of heavy legs, maybe a little bit of fatigue, maybe just finding the rhythm of the game. We shall see.
Yeah, it's rare to see Paulini do that, though. Is it just successful pressure from New City?
I think so.
All right, Lee goes down the line. Yaisley flicks for Luis Fernando. It's out of bounds. It's going to be a Lou City throw. Lucas Paulini followed us on Twitter this week. Maybe that's to blame for his sudden heavy touch.
It's the opposite of a TSS bump.
Yeah. Lee throws it to Aguilar. Aguilar back to Lee. Lee looking for the feet of Ownby. Reynolds was there to intercept. Now Paulini lifts it forward. That has gone through to Aguilar. Aguilar down the right. He's onside. Aguilar has Luis Fernando. Gives it him short. Fernando in the box. Fernando shoots. Deflected. Lou City come out with it. Lou City have the ball. It's gone back to Ranjit Singh.
Fans, you can get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league.
Asante just beat Kay in the air, and it came off of Newman's head. No, it's going to be a Lou City throw. Newman gives it to Morad. Oh, slip. Still gets the ball. Reynolds has it. Reynolds to Morad. Pressure from Luis Fernando. Morad plays it. Nice ball out to Newman. Couldn't find Kay. Asante's there first. Asante into the feet of Luis Fernando. The flick for Alex Lee. Alex Lee overlapping. Alex Lee couldn't cut inside Newman. It's going to be a Richmond kicker's throw-in. Alex Lee calling for help. Finds Luis Fernando. Good touch from Fernando. Good pass into the path of Aguilar. Still has it. Aguilar to Ownby. Ownby shoots from distance. Ranjit Singh flicks it up and over the bar.
Looks like Ranjit Singh wasn't quite confident he was going to be able to catch that one and hold on to it, for fear of spilling it back into play and allowing for an easy goal. Instead, just tips it over the bar. Corner kick to the Richmond kickers to be taken by Aguilar, who did well, by the way, to hold that ball up at the top of the box and then find Brian Ownby, rather than maybe taking a kind of an awkward shot from a tight angle. Instead, plays the simple ball. And
there's no opportunity, was there? Aguilar crosses into the 6-yard box. Ranjit Singh jumps, saves, and holds.
You know, at first I was giving Ranjit Singh the benefit of the doubt by saying that maybe it was kind of an intentionally low delivery. I do think both teams are struggling to handle the wind of this game.
Right.
That it seems like it's coming and going at odd intervals, and maybe they haven't quite figured out how to adjust.
Kay diagonal ball into the box. Troyer gets there with his right foot and clears. But it's collected by Quinn. Quinn finds the feet of McCabe, sorry. Flicks it onto Kay. Kay under pressure from Lee and Luis Fernando. He's holding both off so far, though. He's turned and turned again.
I think it was more pressure from one player than the other.
Well, Luis Fernando is helping. Alex Lee dares Kay to play it.
Tries to play it off Kay, hits off of Alex Lee's foot. It's out for a corner to Lou City FC.
It was the double rebound. That's good work from Kay. He sort of didn't bite on it when Lee sort of stopped and waited for him.
It was a good physical battle there. As Lou City gets set to take the corner, we see that battle, and it just bounces off of Alex Lee's foot there. And now the corner comes in, flicked on and collected by William Yambi, who now tries to find Samuel Asante, and does.
Yeah.
And we're off to the races.
Okay, Asante could not get past Reynolds.
If by off to the races, I mean immediately intercepted and possession turned over. And now Luban, City back.
Luban has it down the right. Hoffman's pointing to where he wants it. Hugh Roberts intercepts. It's back with Luban though. Luban in the corner. Luban crosses. Headed out by Paulini. Collected by Newman. Newman heads it out left, but there's no one there. So Alex Lee collects it for the Richmond Kickers. Finds the feet of Jason Yaisley. Yaisley collects, gives it Fernando. I lose Fernando. Turn and goes. Turns and goes. And instead finds Paulini in midfield.
Some really crafty play there a moment ago from Now McCabe. When Lou City got that ball in that transition, I think Alex Lee wasn't quite aware of it, and Now McCabe immediately turned, gave him a little bit of body check, knocked him over. But it was because of that quick transition that it wasn't necessarily a foul.
Right.
So that's why it was a 3-on-2 situation, because Alex Lee was on the ground. Alex Lee, in turn, letting the center official know, not pleased by that lack of a call.
All right, Troyer to Ombi. Ombi to Paulini. Paulini under pressure, gives it to Yambi. Yambi goes all the way back to Horton. Richmond Kickers goalkeeper gives it to Hugh Roberts. Roberts short to Asante. Asante, Paulini tried to first time it, loses out. McCabe has it. McCabe into the path of Luban. No, Hoffman. That ball is going to slowly roll out of bounds to be a Richmond Kickers throw. That seemed to happen in slow motion.
It knew that you wanted to say it's out of bounds for a throw-in, so it just took its time getting there to make you have to draw it out as long as possible.
Alex Lee collects the ball. I think there wasn't a ball boy on duty down in that corner.
I think we only have two for a pretty lengthy stretch of field here.
All right, Lee throws it down the line. Kay wins it. Hoffman comes up to get it. McCabe gives it to Kay. Kay tries to cross low, hits Alex Lee. It's going to be a Lou City throw-in on the left. A lot of pressure from Lou City.
Sustained pressure, too. It's been good possession. I think Lou City have been the team faster to adjust to the maybe awkward wind and awkward pacing of this game.
Yaisley comes out with it. Yaisley didn't have anyone to play it forward because normally he's the guy to play it forward too. There is literally only one Jason Yaisley on the field. Dagging a ball intercepted.
You made the adjustment. You weren't sure that you wanted to make that claim. There might be one in like Utah.
There might be. There almost definitely is.
So Jason Yaisley in Tempe.
Yeah.
He's furious by that declaration from you.
Brian Omby is away down the left. He's up against Reynolds. Omby goes left, runs into Reynolds, has won a free kick. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers free kick.
I think Reynolds has won himself a yellow card for that challenge. Let's see if it gets issued. It seemed like the referee was reaching for a back pocket, and she was. Yellow card there. Good transition from Brian Ownby, forcing that challenge, forcing that contact to be made, and earning that yellow card.
Yeah, Reynolds did step across him. First time I saw it, I thought maybe Ownby had deliberately won that free kick. But yeah, Reynolds stepped into his path. So it looks like Aguilar and Paulini are standing over it. Luis Fernando's maybe thinking about it as well.
Teal shoes out, I think, in the situation.
And then all of the Richmond Kickers look over to Lee Cadishaw, who I think just made the decision about what's going to happen.
I think he made the decision that it would be Paulini? Yes,
yeah,
Paulini
just told
sent everyone else away.
Literally told Luis Fernando where to go.
He's told him to go stand at the edge of the wall. So we'll see if this is a Bayern Munich situation.
Paulini shoots just over. Ranjit Singh had it covered, I believe.
Looks like he did. It looks like it was also maybe a bit wider, a bit higher than the fans here at City Stadium would have liked to believe.
Let's take a look at the replay and see just how close it was. It was definitely wide. I can confirm. We are 32 minutes here at City Stadium. It is Richmond Kickers 0, Louisville City FC 0. Long kick from Ranjit Singh. Hugh Roberts wins in the air. Quinn wins a second ball. Hoffman holds it up, plays it right for Luban. Braden Troyer's going to get there first. Troyer plays it off of Luban to Asante's chest. Asante turns. Asante really had no options and had to end up playing a chip ball down the line.
Part of the reason why I think Asante had no options there, Daryl, consistently we've seen Asante drifting to one side or the other and really staying stretched. Look how far away he is from Lucas Paolini at the moment.
Right.
Even with Richmond pressing, so I know we're not on the ball, but it's still a good 20 to 30 yards of a gap that you don't want to see if you're those two holding midfielders. And it's been kind of a consistent time. Every time that ball's turned over, it's one of them well out of the middle, so you don't have the numbers you need there to keep that possession in place.
Just doesn't have that midfield partner
exactly.
to play to. Right. All right, Brian Ownby down the line. Reynolds wins it cleanly this time. And in fact was possibly fouled by Ownby, so it's going to be a loose City free kick. Reynolds gives it to Ranjit Singh. Ranjit Singh with his feet. He's looking left. He goes long, looking for Kay. It's going to be Kay against Roberts. Roberts wins it in the air. Asante wins a second ball. Asante gives it to Alex Lee. Alex Lee plays it down the line. Morad missed the header, I think.
I think he thought he had somebody in behind. He thought he could be crafty and do that little flicked on header.
Yeah.
Instead, nobody there except for the Richmond kickers.
Asante loses out to McCabe. It's going to be a free kick to Richmond
But I
kickers.
think he catches a McCabe forearm in the face, and thus the free kick's given. Taken quickly to Paolini. Paolini picks his head up, looks to find Aguilar, and does on the wing.
Aguilar has the ball on the right. Aguilar in the right corner.
Definitely a bit of a contact there on Asante's body, and we have now Lou City in possession.
Alex Lee intercepts, and Quinn clears it out. Not sure how deliberately. Paolini turns and lifts it into the box. Reynolds held off Yaisley, and the ball has gone through to Ranjit Singh, who picks it up.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
Morad with the ball.
Just
loose touch from Morad. Tackled by Aguilar. Manages to, really good tackle in the end from Morad to get it back to Ranjit Singh.
But a little more physicality from Aguilar, a little more physicality from the Richmond kickers. That's something they've been lacking in this first half.
Right, Carl Smith comes forward with it. Into the feet of Kay. Sorry, it was Abend. Cross is over. It's going to be a kicker's goal kick. Right, Charlie Horton is waiting, I believe, for Hugh Roberts to tie his shoes. Good teammate work.
Maybe Charlie Horton just needed a breather.
Yeah. Horton goes right to Alex Lee. Lee's looking forward. Instead goes to Hugh Roberts. Roberts square to Yambi. Yambi finds Asante. And I think you're right. Paolini is very, very far away from Asante right now.
And it completely takes away your midfield options and then leads to turnovers.
Fernando loose touch. McCabe has put it down the line, looking for Luban. Horton's there though. Horton clears it. Arbend with the ball. Gives it to Carl Smith. Smith back to Reynolds. Reynolds into the feet of Quinn. Quinn with a quick turn. Quinn looking for Newman over the top. Newman takes it on his chest. Newman couldn't quite keep it in bounds.
A really great ball from Quinn, though, just to put that in stride. Is the quarterback over the shoulder into the breadbasket type of delivery from Quinn. Just a little bit heavy of a touch there for Brian Newman off the chest. Out, I think before he even got the cross in, had just gone into touch.
Yeah, I think so too. Almost Del Piccolo-esque, that ball from Quinn. Lou City fans know what I'm talking about. Paolini goes long, looking for the header. Yaisley intercepted. There's Arbend on the ball for Lou City. Troyer and Yaisley both get a foot in. Ball is out of bounds. It's going to be a Lou City throw-in. Kyle Smith to take. Smith, I think, saw that Luban was marked. Couldn't go there. On a loose touch, and Yaisley has it. No, he doesn't. He's let that go.
I think let that go is a kind way of explaining that situation.
Was persuaded to let that go.
Aggressively persuaded.
Yeah. Right, Smith has it. Smith finds Luban. Ball comes in. Ball goes out wide. It's going to be a Richmond kickers goal kick again. I feel this game's lost its rhythm a little bit.
I'm not sure it ever had that much rhythm. It has seemed very back and forth, a little bit disjointed, and I do think it is because of that combined approach of long ball over the top and then possession through the middle, but that possession seems to be, for both teams, relatively sloppy.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of turnovers, a lot of misplaced first touches, and so maybe it's become a situation in which the direct ball is the safest option. But you can even hear it around the stadium. It's a quiet City Stadium tonight.
Yeah. I think maybe the weather has a lot to do with that, both in terms of people coming out tonight, but also the style of play.
Oh, you mean the impending torrential downpour isn't welcoming?
All right, Samuel Asante accelerates down the right. Still on the ball. Kay's after him. He's managed to find Alex Lee. Alex Lee has the ball on the right. Alex Lee squares it for Ownby, top of the box. Brian Ownby's shot is blocked by Reynolds. Reynolds did well to step across there.
Speaking as a Man United fan, I'm thinking maybe it's just that everyone is still so excited about that FA Cup win.
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah, that they're all just, out celebrating. Maybe Hibs fans could be that as well.
We're going to get a replay of that Ownby shot. Really good read by Reynolds. Luis Fernando takes the corner kick, left-footed to the far post. Yombi gets there. Reynolds clears. Ball's going to bounce all the way back to Braden Troyer. Troy and Asante seem to have a bit of a mix-up about who was taking that, but Alex Lee has it. Alex Lee goes long, looking for the head of Yaisley. Roberts collects. Roberts gives it to Paulini. Paulini from top of the box. I think he tried the gentle chip through, but it wasn't quite gentle enough.
Your euphemisms are so kind tonight. They really are.
Ranjit Singh tells everybody to go long. Doesn't quite catch it as much as I think he would have liked to.
Also might have been a yard or two out of the box when he when he took that.
A little bit Brad Gazan Gold Cup.
Except not punished and immediately scored upon would be the fundamental difference between the two.
All right, Paulini to Roberts to Asante. Asante brings the ball over the halfway line. Looks for the head of Yaisley. Morad beats him. Quinn with a, I want to say risky header back to his goalkeeper, but he got there. Ranjit Singh rolls it out to Reynolds. Reynolds turns and goes back. Keeper has it again. Ranjit Singh short to Morad. Morad comes forward. His left foot. Plays with his right foot. Kay into up to Quinn to McCabe. McCabe has Newman. Newman crosses low. Hoffman was there. Fired over.
Little bit of contact between Hoffman and William Yombi after that shot was taken. Instead turned out, and it's a goal kick for the Richmond
Great
Kickers.
move by Lou City though.
Absolutely. Nice interplay.
You're going to see it again.
Leads to a good ball in. McCabe just can't get his hips around it.
Was it McCabe or Hoffman?
Sorry, Hoffman.
Yeah.
That's why I keep you around.
To tell you when you're wrong.
Wow. We do see the win on the field. That ball was definitely going into Lou City's half, and then it just held up and sat in the air. Died a good 10 to 15 yards before midfield.
That's going to be a Lou City free kick just over the halfway line. Quinn, Aguilar, he didn't ask for yards from Aguilar there. He was pretty much standing on top of the ball. Reynolds has it. Reynolds to Morad. Morad to Quinn. Quinn goes down the line. Alex Lee heads it. Collected by Kay. Kay has it back. Kay goes short. The ball is out for a Lou City throw-in.
Daryl, I know you know many things, but did you know that you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL?
I know now. Asante intercept.
That's why I'm here.
Asante into the corner. Newman picks it off. Lou City have the ball. Back to Quinn. Quinn, short pass into Newman. Newman crosses to the far post. Looking for Hoffman. Troyer saw it out. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers goal kick. We are in the 43rd minute here. There are about 3 minutes to go. Taylor, one of your jobs is to check how many minutes of added time when they hold up the board over there.
I shall do my best. I think the fourth official
your eyesight's better than mine.
I think the fourth official not too inclined to do that, continuing to have a conversation with Lou City head coach James O'Connor. It's been an ongoing conversation for the last 15 or 20 minutes, I'd say. Fourth official just stepping over, having a few words, stepping back to his area.
A long ball from Horton. is off of K. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers throw in. Alex Lee with the throw. Lee goes short to Ownby. Ownby turns, can't take the ball with him, but Lee gets it back. Lee dribbles in field. Alex Lee just runs into trouble, but finds the fit of Yaisley, who finds Ownby out wide. Ownby with his right foot crosses to the far post, looking for Luis Fernando. Troy collects. Troy volleys from the top of the box. Blocked by Lou City. Comes to William Yumby. Yumby looks up. Yumby was trying to find Luis Fernando, but it was picked off. Now the release ball, looking for Hoffman, covered by Hugh Roberts and given back to Charlie Horton. Horton goes to Asante.
Richmond did well there because, as you might have heard, the wind was at their backs.
Yeah.
Coming through, a good strong wind pushed that ball a little bit, I think, farther forward than anybody expected. So kickers did well to get it back to Horton and get it back and into possession rather than maybe take their time getting to it and risk a Lou City transition.
Asante receives the ball from Yumby. Yeah, there's always the danger that you sort of misjudge a ball when it's coming through with the wind.
When you've got the wind, when you've got the wet field.
But isn't it also kind of unpredictable wind? Do you know what I mean? It's not as if it's just blowing 20 miles an hour in one direction and you can judge for that. It can change literally when the ball's in flight.
Outside of the fact that I have the flag to base it off of, it is pretty difficult to figure out which way the wind has been blowing.
Is there a meteorological term for that? Multi-directional winds?
Tricky wind, I
Tricky
believe.
wind.
Yes.
Mighty wind.
Richard Nixon wind, I believe.
It's going to be a Lou City throw-in.
It's a topical reference.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone out there appreciates.
Murad collects in the back. Murad goes left to Newman. Ben Newman with the ball. Newman lifts it into the path of Kay. Kay's got Roberts with him. Roberts gives him a little push. Not enough to attract the referee's attention though. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers goal kick.
Maybe not enough to attract the referee's attention in the way he would have wanted. Yeah.
It's going to be Charlie Hutton to kick it. Kicks it long, Wynn holds it up. Polini loses out to our end in midfield. Luban against Asante. Asante gets it to Braden Troyer. Troyer with his right foot finds Luis Fernando, who appears to be on the left wing now. Luis Fernando, a couple of rollovers and a nice quick cut back. Finds Asante. Asante back to Troyer.
Joe, the fourth official has indicated there is 1 minute at a time in this half.
Good job. Just enough time for Alex Lee to cross this in. He chips it into the path of Brian Ownby. Ownby is in the box. Right-footed low, blocked by Quinn. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers corner kick. This could be the last attack of the half.
Could be, which might be why the big men are heading forward. And pretty much all the men are heading forward except for Braden Troyer, and it looks like Samuel Asante sitting back a little deeper.
Yumby and Roberts are talking about it. Yeah, here we go.
Hugh Roberts has asked for time.
Yep.
Roberts and Yumby have conferred, and ball's delivered short. Looks like it's going to be out for another corner kick to the Richmond Kickers.
Yes, it is. Correct, Tyler. I had no idea. Thank you. So I guess before Ranjit Singh had even got to it, it was already
I think it was cleared outside of the 6 by the near post defender there.
It's going to be Aguilar to take this from the right.
You can always gauge it by how motivated the goalkeeper is to keep it in bounds.
Yeah. Aguilar low and right-footed, easily headed out.
And we have halftime at City Stadium with the score: the Richmond Kickers 0, Lou City FC 0.
No major chances, but I want to say Lou City have had the best of the play.
I think they've had the cleanest of the chances.
Hoffman's?
The Kickers. Yes, that's right. I thought that was like another euphemism for a clean chances or Hoffman. I was very confused.
We're actually talking about number 17, Chandler
Yes.
Hoffman.
Yeah, they've had more, I'd say, direct chances on target, caused Charlie Hoffman a little more difficulty than maybe the Richmond Kickers have done on Ranjit Singh.
Yeah, that seems fair.
That's it. I mean, it's really all to play for. And as we talked about with that wind, the reason I think we keep harping on it is that it is tricky because it really doesn't favor one or the other. So I think it's going to be which team can react and figure out how to deal with that. Which team can react and figure out how to deal with the opposition is how we'll see things progress in the second half.
All right, more halftime analysis from us in a few minutes. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with you soon.
Breathtaking. And I love your use of negative space.
What were you thinking?
Oh, definitely art school. But between painting and sculpture, you can always change majors.
You need to...
Right. Oh, it ain't finished. until you sign it.
Tame the tuition monster.
Lovely.
With Virginia 529 programs that help no matter where higher education dreams take them.
This will be your lost masterpiece.
Stretched out to the middle, back to Green.
Breathtaking. And I love your use of negative space.
What were you thinking?
Oh, definitely art school. But between painting and sculpture, you can always change majors.
You need to...
Right. Oh, it ain't finished until you sign it.
Tame the tuition monster.
Lovely.
With Virginia 529 programs that help no matter where higher education dreams take them.
This will be your lost masterpiece. Breathtaking.
Stretched out to the middle, back to
Woke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score!
Gerardo Forbes. It's in! Rochester has lead, and again it's St. Louis.
Welcome back to City Stadium with me, Daryl, and him, Taylor. We promised some halftime analysis of the game, but we've received some analysis of our analysis.
We have from Patrick Blanton on Twitter. Thank you, Patrick, who lets us know that it is in fact Ben Noonan, not Newman. So we have two pieces of paper in front of us. One says Newman, one says Noonan. We're going with Noonan from now on.
So Noonan is the left back
Yes.
for Lou City FC. We've got the stats here. We are told it was 3 shots each in the first half. Does that feel right to you?
3, it does, because 2 were on target for Louisville, 1 on target for Richmond, and that's about what I expected. As we said, I think Louisville had the better of the chances in that first half, but I don't think we said that either team really dominated that first half or really looked the clearer of the favorites going into the second.
I would say Lou City's approach looks more likely to succeed, if that makes sense, right? Lou City seemed like more on the ground, a little more surgical, a few more dangerous crosses, whereas the kicker seems like a lot of diagonal and chipped balls that get headed away, essentially.
Well, I think it's because Richmond are really looking for that Yaisley diagonal.
Yeah.
Almost every time they get the ball out of the back. So it's basically if
plan Y.
if you've got Horton with the ball, he's looking for Alex Lee. Alex Lee is immediately picking his head up and looking for that long ball. And I think sometimes that works when it's your A through Z option. That's where it becomes a problem. On top of that, the wind has died down a little bit, as you can probably tell from the lack of wind in our mics. But you are having that intermittent wind, that Nixon wind, I think is the term we settled upon.
We did not settle on that.
We absolutely settled upon it. And I think that is
one
also...
of us said it once and the other one groaned. That's what happened.
And I think that is also playing a factor here, and we'll see if the teams try to adjust to maybe keep the ball on the floor a little bit more, and then to tighten up possession a little bit. I think Louisville overall have had the better possession and have looked a little bit better from a technical standpoint, if not a tactical standpoint.
Part of that is I think their two midfielders, Arbend and Quinn, were tighter, closer together. You noted in the first half that maybe Asante and Paulini, there was too much of a distance between them.
In terms of the width, yeah, because I think that I almost wonder if the Richmond Kickers are trying to maybe get numbers out wide and create like 3-on-2 situations that you could then get that counterattack in behind.
It's like so overload a wing and then hit a ball out that wing.
Exactly. Right. And so I think with that, though, what tends to happen is that you have those two central midfielders who are supposed to be your kind of deep-lying holding midfielders drifting apart. And when that happens, if you turn that ball over, Louisville able to come right back down the middle and then have numbers to get those shots off, to get those chances.
So far, Mr. Chandler Hoffman, limited to just the one really good chance, but it's the type of chance he normally scores, I want to say.
Yep, it's the type of chance that I am wary of him getting again.
Yes. Yeah, he's not going to waste too many of those, is he?
He is not. I'm inclined to say that Louisville maybe the team making more halftime adjustments
Are you basing this on the fact that they're the team that is later coming out in the second half?
that they have not yet come out of the locker room.
It may be that they don't know their way around City Stadium like the Richmond Kickers do. It could
That
be a
could-
spinal tap
yeah.
situation. It could
rock and roll, and then they walk around for another 10 minutes. Yeah.
They're like, wait, this is McCloy Street.
They're all just wandering through Carytown now.
Yeah.
I think they'd be difficult. But the Kickers have huddled up. They've had their break. It looks to be the same team that started the first half, with the exception that we have had the numerical change for Jason Yeisley, shifting from number 17 to number 3.
Yeah.
The torn jersey. It looks like the remnant of that torn jersey has been removed from the field. I assume preserved for posterity, but we don't know that yet.
And we did have someone at half-time here at City Stadium win the contest and hit the crossbar.
Twice.
Yes.
You get 3 chances to do it. One wins the contest. He hit it twice.
Pretty
Kickaroo
impressive.
bowed and gave the we're not worthy.
Whoever that gentleman is, I think he should be added to the roster. And so I think if you hit it twice, you should be subbed in the second half.
That sounds good. Speaking of halftime substitutions, it does look like that man Del Piccolo has come onto the field for Louisville.
So we saw footage of him in Lou City's previous games. He hits a mean left-footed bendy pass. He really does. He is the Perlo of Kentucky.
I like that. I'll give you that one. But he does, and he does it really well in terms of he does the left-footed pass direct out wide, but weights it really well to keep it in bounds. But he also does that kind of probing ball into the feet of, for example, Chandler Hoffman when he's up top, and Hoffman then able to settle and have a little bit more time on the ball because it's to his feet as opposed to up in the air.
And Chandler Hoffman's like, could that ball be any better?
Oh, really? Really? Is it 2 or 3 90s pop culture references for you? And you say a reference to Richard Nixon is terrible, and then you drop a Chenandler Bong? Sorry, Ms. Chenandler Bong.
Speaking of, what is the name of Lou City FC's left back, Taylor?
Newnham. Not
Ben
Newman.
Newnham.
See, and the pause comes from, again, with the 90s references. I want to do the Seinfeld Newman.
Have you had to scratch off all your Seinfeld jokes?
my list. I had a whole yellow legal pad in front of me.
So who did Del Piccolo come on for?
It remains to be seen. The huddle is preventing me from gauging the numbers.
Well, he usually plays central midfield, right? So maybe it's either Quinn or Arbend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I'd
see
say
when the huddle sort of comes apart. We'll see who's there.
when the huddle breaks.
There we go. That's the word. All right, so still Hoffman up top. Still K on the left. I see Del Piccolo. I think
it's Abend has made way.
is this Quinn doing high kicks and back kicks?
I believe so. Oh, cool. No, it's Quinn up here about to kick off. That is Abend in the back, so it's neither. So it looks like maybe McCabe has come off and Abend has been pushed forward into that kind of support striker, middle of the 3 attackers role.
No, there's McCabe.
Yeah.
Number 11. Maybe Abend is in the back and Morad has come off.
That's what it is.
There's been
There
a
we are.
centre-back change,
Yes,
right?
there has. All
Yep.
right. Now we got it.
Sorry, Quinn is in the back. Quinn is in the back. Abend is in midfield, partnering Del Piccolo. There we go. We got it figured out, Tyler. And it's Ben Newnham at left back, who just got the ball and was just dispossessed by Samuel Asante in midfield. Asante finds Paulini. Paulini under a bit of pressure. Paulini goes back to Yumby. Yumby under pressure from Hoffman. Goes to Charlie Horton. Charlie Horton with the ball. Horton gives it to Hugh Roberts.
It looks like they've made 2 changes, Daryl. It looks like Connor Shanofsky has come onto the field.
Oh, has
so
he?
we have a former Richmond kicker on the field. Connor Shanofsky has made his debut.
At centre back? And you mean his debut today, right?
Yes.
Every day's a debut. So they've changed both centre backs.
It looks it.
No, because there's Reynolds
So
and there's Quinn.
so we're still figuring it out.
Quinn brings it forward. Looking down the left for Newnham. Kickers have it. Paulini has it in midfield. Paulini goes left to Braden Troyer. Troyer goes long down the line, looking for Brian Ownby. Couldn't get it over the head of Carl Smith. Carl Smith heads it, collected by Arbend. Arbend back to Reynolds. Reynolds with a nice cushion touch. Gives it to Del Piccolo in midfield. Del Piccolo, there's one of those big left-footed balls. He's found Newnham. Luis Fernando dribbles out of the back. Luis Fernando keeps coming. Gives it right to Brian Ownby. Ownby goes back to Alex Lee. Alex Lee drops it to Hugh Roberts. Hugh Roberts to William Yombi. Braden Troy has pulled left. Yombi goes long. Looking for the head of Yaisley. Finds Carl Smith instead. Smith to Troyer. Troyer to Yaisley. Yaisley into the feet of Ownby. A nice quick turn. Pulls away from Del Piccolo. He has Alex Lee to his right. Plays the ball into Alex Lee. Lee crosses low. Headed out by Del Piccolo. Bit of juggling from Brian Ownby, but he's lost the ball. McCabe has it instead. Noonan down the line to McCabe. McCabe on the ball. Played in field. Picked off by Paulini. Lucas Paulini. Bit of a higher tempo about the Richmond kickers, Taylor.
A big difference from the kickers from the first half to the second. It is definitely a bit more up tempo, but it's also a bit more possession based.
Yes.
That said, Richmond has just turned the ball over, allowing Lou City to transition quickly.
McCabe has the ball now. McCabe under pressure from Asante. Holds him off. Wins a throw-in.
And despite our initial concerns, it was a much more like-for-like substitution sequence than we thought. It is Shinosky on in place of Tarek Murad, and then it is Aiden Quinn making way for Del Piccolo.
Oh, I see, okay. So Shinosky in the back for Morad,
Yep.
and Del Piccolo replaces Quinn. We made that way more complicated
We
than it needed
sure
to be.
did.
You're welcome, listeners. You're welcome. Reynolds to Shinosky. Shinosky back to Reynolds. Reynolds accelerates away from Yaisley under pressure. Yaisley got a bit handsy. Went down the line. Troyer got his head there first. Ownby comes and meets it. Ownby on the left now. Ownby back to Troyer. Troyer under pressure. Goes long. Yaisley turns away from Reynolds. He's got a little bit of space ahead of him. Aguilar's overlapping. Yaisley gives it to him. Aguilar with the left foot. Low cross. Finds this Fernando, whose shot is just wide.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
no, it's blocked. Maybe it's a
I'm
corner
not
kick.
sure if Ranjit Singh got a hand to it or if it was the defender there. Regardless, Luis Fernando down, but it is blocked out for a corner kick to the Richmond kickers. Really nice hold-up play from Jason Yaisley to spring that counter and then to play in Luis
Yeah, it
Fernando.
was a no-look pass, Taylor.
And then it's Aguilar into Luis Fernando. Fernando just can't turn it around, and instead it's out for the corner kick.
I think there's a big slide tackle came across the block here. Kicker's corner kick comes in, is picked out of the air by Ranjit Singh.
Kickers kind of doing that in-swinger, aiming for the middle of the 6-yard box pretty consistently, and really not working that well so far.
George Davis IV is on the field. George Davis IV just collected that ball.
Oh, you mean GD4?
GD4 just got knocked down by Lucas Paulini. Free kick to Lou City FC. I'm going to say GD4 has come on for Luban.
So three early changes in
Yeah.
the second half from Lou City.
It's strange because we thought Lou City were the team that would be happier with what was happening.
But this is more akin to the formation, to the lineup that worked really well for them at home against St. Louis in their most recent game, which they won 2-0. So maybe you rest those legs for the first half. You bring on the kind of more proven veterans, at least of late,
Yeah.
and then you see what you can get in a second half.
It's going to be McCabe to take this. Yeah, we see what led to this free kick that comes in now.
I'm going to call that a body blow from Paulini.
All right, infield with Del Piccolo to the feet of Kay. Del Piccolo's left foot. Noonan intercepted by Luis Fernando. Lou City throwing. Throwing taken quickly to Kay. Kay with some fast feet. In the end, the kickers come away with it though. Here's Aguilar. Aguilar's got Braden Troyer, gives it to him. Braden Troyer goes left to Ownby. Ownby has Aguilar running ahead of him. Finds his feet. Arbenders across to get rid of that. So it's going to be a Richmond kickers throwing. Ownby leaves it for Braden Troyer, I think. Yeah, he does. Troyer looks like he can't find an option. He's looking around. It's like me trying to pick a restaurant. Troyer goes down the line. It's one in the air. Ownby wins the second ball. Played out of bounds. Going to be another Richmond kickers throw. Brennan Troyer this time goes long, looking for the head of Yaisley. Yaisley misses it in the air. Reynolds, right foot, side foot, down the line. Paulini takes it calmly on his chest. Comes forward, then dribbles straight into GD4. GD4 gives it to Connor Shinosky. There's an ex-Richmond kickers combo there. Kay under pressure in midfield from Paulini. This game's livened up a bit. Or have I livened up? I can't tell if the two are separate or related.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. That's what I'm going to say.
Hugh Roberts with a big clearance. Shinosky with the header, gives it straight to Brian Ownby. Ownby evades the pressure of Del Piccolo, gives it to Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando accelerates. Slide tackle, he rides it. And he turns, and he plays it outright. Ball comes in low. Keeper spills it. Loose City defenders collect it. Now McCabe has it. McCabe gives it to George Davis IV, who drops it back to Carl Smith. Ball being played short across the back by Loose City. Del Piccolo gives it to Shinosky, gives it to Noonan Taylor. down the line, there was a clash between Kay and Alex Lee.
Looks like Alex Lee maybe got a hand to him, maybe a little bit of a pull, maybe intermittent contact.
He just got a yellow
or
card.
unintentional contact, but regardless, it's going to be a yellow card because otherwise it is a decent chance. I'm not going to say a clear-cut chance, but a decent chance for Lou City. As Lou City gets set to take this free kick, we see the replay here of the good ball in from Brian Ownby, but no trailing runner there for the Richmond Kickers to follow up. Lou City able to break, and here we find ourselves with 3 Lou City players over the ball and a decent crowd on the box.
Yeah, everyone's clustered around the penalty area. Is it going to be Del Piccolo's left foot to take this?
I'm going to say no, just to be contrarian. And just to be correct.
There you go. Ball comes in. Lost in the air. Cleared by Paulini. Flicked on by Samuel Asante. Now Luis Fernando has it. Fernando, did he get fouled? Referee says yes.
Taken down by Del Piccolo.
Another yellow card.
Going to be a yellow to Del Piccolo as well for a, I would say, professional foul. Essentially knowing that he's beat by the wheels of Fernando, knowing that that's going to lead to at least a numerical superiority opportunity for the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah.
We have that foul.
Del
And the yellow card show for Del Piccolo.
Stopping the counter.
Mm-hmm. Aggressively.
All right, free kick taken quickly. And called back a little too quickly for the referee, maybe. All right, kickers are ready to go.
During the 10 minutes that this second half has been underway, nearly 10 minutes, that attacking partnership there has switched every single time for the Richmond Kickers. So Brian Ownby has played left, right, and center, as has Aguilar, as has Fernando.
This time Ownby's on the left to collect this ball from Yombi. Couldn't get there. Stuck his leg out but missed it. He gives Yombi the thumbs up, meaning, yeah, that was a good ball. I should have got to it. Lou City throwing. Kyle Smith gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds goes long down the line, looking for Hoffman. Hoffman against Yombi. Yombi wins that. Smith to take. Smith looking for options. In the end, he goes back to Reynolds. Reynolds has it. Reynolds, right foot to Shinosky. Shinosky drives it out left. I believe to Noonan.
But offside given. Free kick to the Richmond Kickers. Noonan taps the ball away, much to the displeasure of Alex Lee.
It's going to be a kicker's free kick on this right-hand side. Alex Lee to take. Lee takes it slowly back to Horton. Charlie Hudson gives it to Hugh Roberts. Roberts to Lee. Lee has Brian Ownby all the way out left here. Kickers really spreading the field with Troyer and Yombi out here.
Spreading it, but not really looking to push them forward, at least not at the moment.
All right, Asante leaves the throw for Alex Lee to take. Lee throws it into midfield for Paulini. Paulini settles it. Paulini loses it, but manages to get a toe and just get it to Asante. Now Asante all the way back to Charlie Horton. Horton to Roberts. Roberts to Yombi. Yombi has Troyer running out left.
To the feet of Alex Lee. Alex Lee looks for Luis Fernando, finds him. Luis dances a bit on the ball and forces a throw in there. Good bit of skill there from Luis Fernando. Good interplay between Fernando and Alex Lee.
And this time it's picked off by Lou City with McCabe. And Lou City come out the kickers. I see Hoffman making a forward run. Kay has it on the left. Kay crosses all the way to the right. Troy looked like he'd won that foot race with George Davis IV and sees the ball out for a throw.
Again, Braden Troy having difficulty finding the restaurant that he wants to attend this evening.
In the end, he threw long and Arbend easily headed it out. Fast throw from Yaisley looking for Ownby. Reynolds has tracked him all the way. Ownby managed to get his body across and has won a throw-in for the Richmond Kickers.
Brian Ownby is an expert in that. It's what we talked about before when you're trying to shield the ball. He's an expert in feinting one way and going the other and putting you under pressure from both sides.
Yeah.
For a skinny man, he's able to be in two places at once pretty easily.
Ownby to the feet of Aguilar. Aguilar to Troyer. Troy back to Aguilar. Aguilar turns back to Troyer, and Troy goes back to William Yombi. Yombi's going to switch the field of play to Roberts and to Lee. Now kickers have the ball on the right. Lee finds Paulini. Paulini through ball to Luis Fernando. Blocked by Shanoski, I believe. Asante rolls it back to Roberts. Roberts squares it to William Yombi. Troy and Aguilar on the left touchline. Troy receives it. Troy looks up, gives it to Aguilar. Aguilar tried to turn Smith but couldn't do it. Now George Davis IV has it. Back with Carl Smith, the right back. Just kept it in bounds, played it long. Yombi steps out and gets his foot to it. Aguilar could not keep that in bounds despite an impressively athletic slide tackle.
Indeed. Fans, get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league.
It's Connor Shanoski bringing the ball out of the back. Could not find the feet of Ben Noonan. It's going to be a Lou City throw-in on the left-hand side.
Connor Shanoski passes the ball the way like a pool player strikes the cue. It's like very hunched down. It's a quick strike.
Yeah. Yes, he'd be good at that soccer pool game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Also professional soccer. He's quite good at.
Yeah, that too.
Shanoski, ball out left. It's won by Alex Lee.
I think we're starting to get an idea of what Louisville talked about at halftime, which was put the ball at the feet of Shanoski and then see what he can find with the long balls either out wide or through the middle.
Quarterback Shanoski.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Smith crosses. Roberts gets there. The ball is up in the air. Charlie Hudson punches. Lucas Paulini gets there before George Davis IV. Brian Ownby receives it in the corner, plays it first time, wins the goal kick.
It's well done by Charlie Horton, because it's one of those that looks like he doesn't quite punch it cleanly, but that's because he has at least two players, maybe three players in front of him. One or two of those are opposing players, not inclined to get out of his way.
It could have ended badly though,
exactly.
Because where he punched it was landed on the penalty spot.
This is true, but it could have ended worse had he have either A, whiffed it, or B, not come off his line at all.
Fair. Yombi receives it from Roberts. Taking it slow. Yombi calming things down. Back to Roberts. Gives it to Samuel Asante. Asante to Roberts to Yombi.
Daryl, I'm going to go ahead and make a wager with you that we see Udai Amura at some point in the next 10 or so minutes.
Troyer plays it longer. Do you see Amura warming up?
I see all of the kickers warming up, but I see a hole in the center of that kind of three-man attacking midfield that really is crying out for someone to come in and stabilize things and kind of keep some consistency in the middle.
Smith went down the line. Troyer couldn't block it enough to prevent McCabe getting there. McCabe crosses to the far post. Looks like Kay has kept it in. Kay has kept it in. He's up against Alex Lee on this left side. Quick feet from Kay again. Kay, a step over and a turn and a cut and a cross to the far post. Troyer wisely lets it run. I hope he got a shout from someone to let him know there was no one behind him. Troyer goes long down the left. Reynolds waited for that and gave it a little gentle header into the feet of Arbend. Now Del Piccolo. Out left to Noonan. Noonan to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo to Arbend. To Shanoski.
Kay down on the far side. Looks like a little bit of contact between him and Alex Lee. Alex Lee stands over him, while Kay remains prone on the ground.
He's just checking that he's okay, right?
Sure. As is the center official. Louisville fans not entirely pleased with the state of their teammate. And now some shoving between the two as Kay gets up, lets Alex Lee know again that he didn't appreciate whatever contact may or may not have occurred.
Looks like the referee separating everybody. So there's going to be more complaining, but no more shoving.
We shall see. I think that's the ideal outcome, whether or not that actually happens.
I see kickers, substitutes being given instructions as well.
And it's a red card, it looks like, to Alex Lee. Lee Kalishaw up off the bench, having words with the far linesman. Very displeased by this decision. And it's Alex Lee given the red card for the Richmond Kickers.
Oh dear.
Makes his way, the long, slow walk to the locker room. And that's going to force some changes pretty quickly here for the Richmond Kickers. William Yambi across to have some words. Must have been some contact, and we did see contact between the two earlier in the first half, Alex Lee and Kay. And I'm thinking maybe it just boiled over to the point where Alex Lee got a little bit frustrated. We haven't seen the footage of it, but I'm assuming this is a call coming from the fourth official.
We're going to see a replay. We're going to see a replay of the fight. It looks like Lee and Kay went at each other a little bit.
It looks like Kay stood up and in the process of standing up maybe bumps heads with either Alex Lee's forehead or his chin. Not necessarily deliberate, but I think Kay probably knew what he was doing standing up in that way. And Alex Lee has finally left the field.
Is that the incident for which the card was given, or is that the afters of something that happened earlier?
I think that is the afters of something that happened earlier.
That's what I think too.
Because Kay went down so quickly, it did look like maybe there was a bit of a... I'm just going to go on a limb and say that maybe when a player falls down that quickly and remains laying on the ground, that maybe he's been hit in an area that you don't necessarily want to be punched, would be my guess.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to say allegedly with all of these things as well. But regardless, Richmond Kickers now, 26 minutes remaining in this game, down a man. We'll see how they adjust to this.
Right now, it looks like Aguilar is filling in at right back.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be sort of a 4-4-1 from the Kickers. And we also have Yaisley back to help defend.
Free kick taken quickly.
Too
Referee
quickly.
not allowing that one to go. Having to set back up and retake.
City Stadium crowd not happy with what they're seeing.
I think not happy with what they may have heard one of the Lou City fans say to the referee and not be punished for. Some kind words for the officiating crew from the Red Army.
Okay, free kick comes in. Headed out by Jason Yaisley. It's going to be a corner kick to Lou City. Del Piccolo coming over to take. Yeah, he is. This is going to be left-footed in-swinger. These are nervy times for the kickers. I imagine Coach Lee Cowdershaw is coming up with some sort of plan, as opposed to just having Aguilar at right back full time.
As opposed to just being furious with a red card? Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Corner swings in. Charlie Horton holds and falls and still holds.
It looks as though Uraimura was the player who was going to come on, has since gone and put his bib back on, started warming up again. So I'm wondering if that signals that maybe his substitution won't be so immediate.
Horton did really well, you saw on the replay, to not lose that ball. There's a second where it looked like he was getting away from him. He pulled it back in. Danger avoided. And Braden Troyer plays the ball down the left channel. Reynolds has it. Reynolds turns away from Yaisley. Reynolds looks up. Reynolds goes long. Yambi comes over the top of Huffman to win the ball. Referee gives a free kick. Sorry, it was Arbend. Ball is out left. Kay with a step over and then goes down, wins another free kick. Crowd do not appreciate Kay winning free kicks.
Kay was already being booed before that collision even occurred, and then doubly so when he went down and the foul given. But there is contact between Kay and Luis Fernando. It's a good call from the official, even if it's to the chagrin of the Richmond faithful.
All right, free kick is going to come in. Into the 6-yard box. Horton saves and holds and gets a little bump afterwards. Referee tells Shinosky to maybe calm it down a little bit.
Just a bit.
It looks like Hoffman has actually been replaced by Lancaster.
I believe you are correct, good sir. That may have occurred during the scrum there.
Yeah. Would you double check for me? Is this number 9 Cameron Lancaster?
It is indeed. You got it right. It is Cameron Lancaster in for Chandler Hoffman.
Yeah. What do I win?
Just the
out left, booed by the crowd.
the pride of
Doesn't seem to be affecting him though.
you win the pride of knowing that you can properly identify your countrymen.
There you go. Oh yeah, Lancaster's from London, correct?
Former Spurs Academy product, I do believe.
Aguilar wins the ball, plays it down the line, headed by Del Piccolo. Paulini collects. Paulini's ball at the line is blocked. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers throw-in. Still 0-0 here at City Stadium in the 69th minute.
Richmond Kickers down to 10 men. Alex Lee sent off for a red card after an altercation, we'll say, with Kay, who's now being regularly booed whenever he gets the ball. I'll say this, though, at least it's livened up the crowd a little bit, a little more involved.
What do you think from the Kickers now? Is it a case of holding on to 0-0?
I think that's...
Say as they break with Luis Fernando. Fernando into Ownby. Ownby lets it run. Carl Smith under pressure. Fakes playing it. Lets it run through to Ranjit Singh. Yeah, what do you think?
I think the situation is exactly what we just saw. It's going to be bunker and contain. And if you get the 0-0 draw as a man down, that's fine. But then you do look to break every now and then.
Right now the Kickers are a little bit stretched because right mid and left mid were up. George Davis the fourth finds Del Piccolo. Now everybody's back. Yeah, it's going to be about maybe using Ownby and Fernando on the breaks. Ball goes through to Charlie Horton. He collects it. It's safe with him for now. Kickers have about 20 minutes to go.
See how long he can hold the ball.
Yeah. Charlie Horton pushes everybody forward. The problem to me now is that if it goes forward to Jason Yaisley, he doesn't have as many people around him. There's even less chance of the knockdowns being won on second ball.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we just saw there.
Yeah.
It's basically when that ball is kicked, Jason Yelsley's got no Kickers player within 25 or 30 yards of him by the time he heads it. There's one within maybe 10 or 15, but still, you don't have much support there.
Offside here. Noonan not happy about it.
Hugh Roberts, however, very happy. Gives the linesman a standing ovation. And yeah, I think you are seeing the Kickers just slowing it down a little bit, taking their time to get that ball in a position, taking their time to get the ball on the ground. Looks like we have a pause in the game. It looks like maybe there was some debris on the field. Has since been cleared. Play to resume as Charlie Horton jogs forward to take the free kick.
So it looks like Aguilar really is just playing right back.
Yes.
Right? That seems to be the decision. I thought it was maybe just a temporary thing until maybe Pittman or someone came on to do it permanently.
And it looks like we're going to have a change from the Kickers. Looks like it is Uday Amura jogging over to make his appearance for the Kickers tonight.
Headed clear by Lou City. Wind held it up so McCabe couldn't quite get it. Ball goes long from Del Piccolo, that long left-footed ball to Kay. Kay gets booed again. Kay finds the feet at the top. Oh, Troyer picks it off. Turns and plays it out. Reynolds takes on the chest. Out right to Carl Smith. Smith into Arbend. Arbend out right to Smith again. Smith to the feet of George Davis the fourth. GD4 crosses, Charlie Horton holds. And goes down.
So I do think with this substitution that we're about to see of Uday Amura coming on the field, if it's for one of those kind of attack-minded players, I do think it kind of gives you an idea of what Lee Kalishaw is going to do. Looks like the Kickers are going to go with a 4-1-3-1, and then maybe try to get some fresh legs in that attack, and maybe try to get something on the break.
All right, ball down the line. George Davis gets there. Yombi meets it and clears it out of bounds. Looks like the substitution is happening now.
And it's Paulini. So that goes against what I thought was going to be happening. So it looks like maybe it will be Samuel in the middle by himself.
Samuel Asante?
Yes. And then you'll have...
I just think it's a straight swap Paulini for Uday Amura.
But Uday Amura, not known for being a holding midfielder for the Kickers, tends to be more an attack-minded player.
We shall see. I imagine if they're just playing this sort of two-man midfield with Asante and Amura, that they'll just let him sit in there. We shall see. They're not going to push him farther forward when they are down to 10 men, right?
You wouldn't think so, but
We'll see what happens now.
I also do think the kickers are enjoying their perfect record at home, maybe looking to extend that record. But it does seem, for the moment at least, that Umar is being brought in as more of a holding midfielder.
All right, ball goes out left, and it's gone for a goal kick.
I think, generally speaking, I would be surprised to see Lucas Paolini making way for the Richmond Kickers at this point in the game. But I don't think it's been his sharpest game. I think he's had trouble dealing with the pressure of Louisville and maybe the field conditions as well. Not his best showing, so I think it makes sense to make that change, get some fresh legs in, and see if the Kickers can change it up a bit.
Yeah, he's normally so dependable in terms of first touch and smooth pass.
And that can be a big problem, because if you're relying upon a player to kind of calm things down, as he regularly does, he does that little shimmy, the sidestep to create space, to create ideal angles. And if you don't have that, it can kind of bleed into other parts of the game as well.
Ooh, Imura's first involvement was a missed pass, then he got a second bite at it, and he played it too long for Luis Fernando. But I do love to say I told you so, and he is playing central midfield alongside Samuel Asante.
I think it's basically a straight up 4-4-1.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I see too. But again, Ownby and Luis Fernando on left and right, gives you sort of attacking pace on the break, and that's what the kickers can hope for. All right, Kay with the ball. Kay tackled by Luis Fernando. He's going to take the throw in. Takes it fast into the box. Is this George Davis the fourth?
It is.
He is tackled.
And it's off GD4, out for a goal kick to the Richmond Kickers. Charlie Horton thinks about taking it short and does.
Yeah. Played it to Braden Troy. He just got out of the box before he touched it. Would have been in trouble if he
I
didn't.
was going to say, kids at home, that's what you have to do on the short goal kicks.
Ownby goes back to Yumby. Yumby left-footed, long, but it's straight into the feet of Connor Shinosky. Shinosky comes forward, goes out left to Noonan. Noonan to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo, nice left-footed ball. That's Carl Smith on the right here. Carl Smith comes in field, gives it to Abend. Abend finds Shinosky again, the quarterback.
The pool-playing quarterback.
Pool-playing quarterback. It's a multi-sport athlete. He's the Bo Jackson of Kentucky. Kay down the left. Kay crosses, but the cross is too high and too long. And City Stadium lets him know about that as well.
I'm waiting for you to say somebody like the something of Kentucky that is actually a person from Kentucky. Like, I'm waiting for you to say the Muhammad Ali of Kentucky.
Muhammad Ali from Kentucky?
I believe so. I believe from Louisville. Probably going to hear about that if I'm wrong.
I believe he was known as the Louisville Slugger.
Thank you to our producer Mike for letting us know that one.
Yaisley misses the header. It goes through. Reynolds gets a toe to it. Shinosky puts it out left.
But credit to you for trying to steal that piece of information as your own.
Noonan's ball is too far for Kay. Horton slides out, gets it, manages to spin himself around and keep himself in the box. Well done, Charlie Horton. Jason Yaisley. Actually, he's not the farthest forward right now. Yaisley's out left and Brian Ownby is up top. You saw the replay of Horton just holding that in. I believe Charlie Horton has been the most featured player in the Kickers highlights tonight, which sort of tells you something about how this game is going in the second half.
You are correct, and it does.
Del Piccolo in midfield. Left-footed, ball to feet, finds Kay. Kay up against Fernando. Gives it to Noonan. Crosses left-footed, headed out by Roberts. Collected by Ownby. You can see Ownby waiting to turn the Jets on, but he was tackled before he could.
I think he's hurt. Looks like Ownby pulled up while making that run and has since gestured to the bench. Looks like maybe just some tightness, might be a cramp, but has gestured to the bench. We might see a change there from the Richmond Kickers. In the meantime, it looks like we have another Louisville player down on the ground. Ref having some words with your two center backs. And William Yumby indicating that maybe he got a little bit of a kick out. Now McCabe doing the exact same. So both players, it seems, claiming that the other
It was, so we just saw the replay. It was McCabe sort of was down and like holding onto the ball, and Samuel Asante came through and tried to kick it loose. I think that's why he stayed down.
I see.
But it's going to be a free kick to Lou City FC.
be down.
Kicker's making a change.
They are. Looks like Anthony Grant about
There
to
we
come
go.
on the field.
Okay, yeah. I wonder if Anthony Grant will be asked to play wide, as Ownby did.
That would be my guess.
Yeah,
If you're bringing on the fresh legs, I think you want him in a position where you're going to have to be doing the running. Put Yaisley on top and let him battle, maybe create something, and in the meantime, keep things fresh in the middle.
Yeah, Ownby kind of gingerly walking off to be replaced by Anthony Grant.
Papa John's also from Louisville, I do believe.
Really?
That's another one for you.
I feel like you're just making these things up now.
So no, he's the Papa John's of pizza. Of Kentucky.
We have some USL scores for you. Latest scores are in USL. Red Bulls 2 are beating Montreal Impact 2-1-0. Pittsburgh Riverhounds beating Toronto FC 2-0. Kickers 0-0. We knew that. Wilmington Hammerheads losing at home to Charleston
I
Battery.
was
1-0.
really wondering if you were going to read that one out.
Free kick from Lou City FC coming in. Oh, it is very much over.
Very much. And the City Stadium crowd happy to let him know that it was very much over. Mr. Grove, what are the other scores you got going
Rounding
on?
out the scores, Wilmington Hammerheads losing at home 1-0 to Charleston Battery. Tulsa Roughnecks 1-1 against St. Louis FC. And San Antonio FC 0-0 with OKC Energy.
I'm going to assume that free kick was an attempt to keep the ball boys on their toes. Maybe they're getting a little chilly back there, want to get a little low work in, let them run, boot it long.
Speaking of booting it long, Charlie Hutton does that from the goal kick. No challenge on the header though, as McCabe sort of flicked it on for the kickers.
Man, Daryl, we are batting a perfect game so far because it looks like Anthony Grant is staying up top, and it is Jason Yaisley staying out wide for the kickers.
Kay crosses. Troyer does just enough to put George Davis the fourth off. Yaisley collects on the left. Yaisley outside of the football, he's kept that in. It shaved the line and came back in towards Anthony Grant, but Reynolds gets there first.
It's the type of ball that makes every player on the pitch turn and look at the linesman for a half second.
But you see Anthony Grant really covering some ground. He's just gone horizontally across the field. Maybe the idea is just to have a bit more movement and a bit more energy up front and a moving target instead of a stationary target.
Dynamism, I believe is the word.
We are coming into the 80th minute here. 10 minutes to go at City Stadium. McCabe tried to play it through. Roberts was involved in a collision. Ball cleared. Reynolds lets it run.
Daryl, did you know that Nike is a proud partner of the USL? You can follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. You did know that.
I did.
Excellent.
Del Piccolo on the ball. Chipped left-footed pass. Luis Fernando gets his head to it. Aguilar plays it off of Newnham. Ball is bounced in. It's still in. Aguilar loses out. Lou City have possession. Kay plays it into the box. Onside. Scramble in the box. There's a bit of a left foot, right foot, and then the ball is cleared.
Looked like there was some collision in the box. Referee not having it. Shakes her head. Play resumes. But it looked like the kickers basically had it all, anticipated that ball being booted long, had all kind of turned and pushed out, and then dispossessed, and that's why you had numbers in the box for Louisville. So a good bit of defensive work for the kickers to get back and get in shape and not allow something worse to occur.
Ball is coming back. Newnham crosses it in. Yombi gets his head to it. Sante holds it up. Sante under pressure in the corner. Goes down, still has it. Asante still under pressure.
Good fight from
Asante gets
Asante.
the goal kick, yeah. I liked the left foot, right foot move from Lancaster in the box. Did you see that?
I did.
It wasn't quite enough to open enough space to shoot though.
It seemed like he was trying to just get in the position where he could get his hips around it, but from a good angle. Instead, nothing came of it, and it's a goal kick for the kickers.
See a replay of Asante in the corner. He's about to go down and spin and keep going. Does Samuel Asante do parkour?
It's a lot of multi-sport athletes out there.
A long ball. Yaisley, I think, got his eyebrows to it. Lou City get it back. Here comes McCabe. McCabe on the ball. McCabe has options ahead of him. He's gone out left to Kay. I guess he wants to hear the crowd boo again. Kay on the ball. Kay up against
And he
Alex Lee.
does.
Nice ball from Kay into the path of Del Piccolo. And that ball is out for a corner kick.
Udaimura gets a toe to it, protests saying that it comes off Del Piccolo. Referee disagrees, and it's a corner to Louisville City.
So I'm the type of if I was in the Red Army right now, I would not be booing Kay. I feel like the more you boo a player who's kind of flashy like Kay is, the more you're asking for trouble.
I would disagree with you, except he did that kind of like the Neymar stop and stand up, like I'm going to take you on. And when you player does that, it tends to be that they're in the moment.
Noonan crosses. Horton gets hands to it, pushes it out right. Ball is still in play. It is kept in by McCabe. McCabe crosses right-footed to the far post. It's run through. Samuel Asante gets it. Asante under pressure immediately. And the kickers do not win the throw-in. It's a Lou City throw-in. Yeah, I was going to say some players thrive on it.
Lee Cowlishaw appears to. Lee Cowlishaw off his bench, having words with that far linesman. Fourth official doing his best to calm things down a little bit, as we're going to have another substitution
For Lou City?
For Lou City. Looks like number
11 McCabe coming off?
Yeah, number 11 McCabe. Not sure who's coming on. We'll wait until we get a number. Number 14. It's going to be Ilya Illich coming on. Very attack-minded player for Louisville. A very attack-minded substitution.
I mean, yeah, they've got the man advantage. They've got, what, 7 minutes to go?
Really? You don't think they want to sit back on the man advantage?
Like, some teams would, away from home, right? Here comes Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball.
The aforementioned Manchester United comes to mind.
Right, yeah. Reynolds with a nice slide rule pass into Illich. Illich couldn't cut it back in time. It's a Richmond kickers goal kick.
Richmond's dogs not enthusiastic to find out that we have fireworks off in the distance.
Yeah. Charlie Houghton with the goal kick. I'm going to predict this goes out left to land on the head of either Anthony Grant or Jason Yaisley. Looking for Yaisley's head. He gets there. He flicks it onto Anthony Grant. Grant can't quite get away. Does find Troy in some space on the left here though. Troy loses his footing, gets it back, crosses right-footed. Lou City headed away. Illich. Plays to Arben, goes long. Lancaster chests it but doesn't have any help. So William Yombi has it. Yombi goes direct for Anthony Grant to chase. Ranjit Singh is off his line to collect. Ranjit Singh rolls it short to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo is not disappointed with that left foot passing that we talked about before. He's just pinged one beautifully out left to Noonan. Newman has put it into the path of Kay. Aguilar gets there. Aguilar plays it up the line, out of bounds. Right, thumbs up for Del Piccolo's passing.
Indeed, indeed. And we have another substitution for the Richmond kickers. Luis Fernando making way.
Is that Sasha Gores?
It looks to be Sasha Gores. That was my silence, because I was very surprised to see that substitution.
Assistant coach and long-time Richmond kicker Sasha Gores is on the field. Looks like he's playing left back. Ball is in. Roberts heads it out. Shot from distance. Hits Yombi. Imura clears. Anthony Grant will challenge for it. Gets it. Maintains possession. Loses possession. Illich picks it up. Illich to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo. Another beautiful left-footed ball. Actually, this one's a little long. Braden Troy is going to get there. Braden Troy is playing right back, I believe, and Sasha Gores is playing left back.
Does well to hold it up, shepherd it out for a goal kick to the Richmond Kickers. And fans, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL.
It's going to be Charlie Houghton with the goal kick.
So if you wouldn't boo Kay, what would you do? Would you do like polite applause to throw him off his game? Like, what is the best thing to do then if you don't want to get him all riled up?
I'm just saying not booing, just to not tempt fate. You know what I mean?
What about just middle of the road? Like if everyone just screamed out like, "You are a very adequate player." Like I think that would do it. That would do it.
Yeah, just confuse him with faint praise. Reynolds has the ball in midfield. Reynolds goes left, finds Noonan. Noonan right-footed cross into the box. Roberts with a not great clearance. Met it mid-air and shanked it out to the right.
Pretty glad we're not doing a post-game interview with Lee Cowlishaw, because if his reaction to the, he was calling for a handball there, no handball given, and his reaction seems to indicate that he's not in the greatest of moods, is the Richmond Kickers head coach.
He would blow our mics. Ball is still in play on the end line. Being held up by Lancaster, who went down. Kickers come out with it. Ball is played long. Shinosky gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds gives it to Arbend. Arbend, good driven pass to Carl Smith. Carl Smith goes to the end line, crosses low.
Handball, it's an awkward touch, it looks like, from Illich. Pops up onto his hand.
Onto his own hand.
Referee right there to give the good decision, and it's a free kick to the Richmond Kickers.
The only number 14 that can get away with the box is Thierry Henry.
Oh, that's sad.
One more replay of this.
Just
One
pops
more
up
look
there,
at
and
this.
it's a little bit of a settle. Maybe not entirely intentional, but the contact's still there.
Illich knew. He knew. Horton kicks it long. Won eventually in the air by Yaisley off of Piccolo. Asante turns. Gives it to Braden Troyer. Troyer lifts it down the line to Aguilar. Too long. It's going to be a goal kick to Lou City.
So I'm still thinking about this, and I think if you call Kay an average player, that's still kind of a negative, right?
Yeah,
So I think
definitely.
you have to go with, like, you're not the best player, but you're also not the worst player. That's what'll throw him off. That's what we need everyone to start yelling.
It at least distract him for a second. Right? Yeah, what does that mean? Arvand with the ball. Left to Shinosky. Shinosky looking for Noonan.
Troyer does a good job to break on that, get the ball, get it out for a throw-in, but allows Richmond Kickers to regroup.
It's Noonan again with the ball. It's run under his feet. He's kept it in play. No, he hasn't. It's a Richmond Kickers throw-in. There are just 2 or 3 minutes to go here at City Stadium.
Sarcastic applause from Kalishaw.
Oh, for the Kickers winning a throwing call.
Indeed.
Many, many boos around City Stadium. It's Braden Troyer with the throw. He goes long down the line, looking for Anthony Grant. Grant takes on his chest. Finds Aguilar. Aguilar back to Troyer. Troyer goes really long. Shinosky gets there first. Asante picks it off though. Here comes Samuel Asante down the right. Big slide tackle. And the ball is out for a Lou City throw-in.
Controversial Lou City throw-in, if the fans are to be believed.
Looks like what's going on in the corner here? Referee talking to the linesman. Oh, it's Asante and Arben maybe getting into it a little bit. Yeah, Arben went after Asante because he walked away with the ball. I've lost track of the ball. Oh yeah, we're still waiting for this throw-in.
We still are.
down in the corner.
We're also waiting for a substitution here for the Kickers.
Yeah, when all the arguing is over, it's still going to be a throw into Lou City down in this corner.
And it looks like it is going to be Asante. No, excuse me.
Aguilar is
It's
coming
Aguilar
off for the
coming off.
Kickers.
So we still haven't had the throw-in taken. The Red Army, though, very vocally letting Louisville know what they think of that decision.
And Aguilar has been replaced by Esky, sorry. Reynolds brings it out the back. So we've been told there are 5 minutes of added time in this game. Lou City FC have 5 minutes to make this one-man advantage count. Ball comes in from Arbend. It's high and into the wind. Horton comes, punches. And I think was
in the
fouled in
box.
doing so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Looks like held up, maybe a little bit of obstruction, free kick given. Louisville definitely now the ones trying to get play resuming as quickly as possible. Charlie Horton not inclined to let that happen.
He's going to be very careful about placing this ball.
Just got to get it exactly
Yeah,
right.
it might take 5 minutes.
A
you
few
know.
stray blades of grass, you can't risk that, got to get rid of those.
Here we go. Goal, free kick from Charlie Horton. Goes long. One in midfield by Illich. But Imura gets a foot to it. Plays it long. Anthony Grant hoping for a good bounce. Reynolds manages to get to it. Looks like the players are struggling a little bit with the wind again.
What type of wind would you say it is, Daryl Grove?
Multi-directional. Kay on the ball. Kay goes down. Kay wins a free kick.
Kay up quickly to have some words with Samuel Asante. Gives Asante a little bit of a shoulder bump, but Louisville
We're in
play
play.
quickly.
Noonan tried to go around Eski. Troyer clears. Other way around, sorry.
Oh, that might have been a little bit of a punch out from Del Piccolo there on Anthony Grant, but no foul given. Del Piccolo back on the ball.
And Grant up against him. Ball held up by Kay. Kay gave Asante a bump as well.
A lot of bumps being given.
Yeah, that's the friendly term for for what's happening. George Davies the fourth. Nice little ball to Carl Smith. Yaisley read it really well and saw it out of bounds.
Yeah, got real feisty there for a good minute or two, and I'd say maybe for a good 45 minutes or so, because it's been a feisty second half, and maybe a little bit of gamesmanship from the Richmond Kickers. When you go down one man, maybe it serves you to kind of get those little fouls in there, maybe frustrate your opponent, get them just so they're not quite focused on maybe getting that possession, but rather on getting you back, on getting a little hit, and you kind of keep the team from doing what they want to do. It's the Diego Costa playbook.
Horton's long kick. Yaisley didn't win it. Illich has it. Illich's running at Kicker's defence. Illich runs into his opposite number 14, Imura. Imura, left-footed pass is too long for Anthony Grant, but it does clear the danger at least for a few seconds.
It looks like he just hit it a little bit wrong. You can tell he was trying to get the bend to the outside, and instead he hit it in.
All right, Shinosky brings it forward. Gives it to Abend.
Kyle Smith drifting down that wing, but
that ball's too long.
A little bit overhit. It looks like it's out for a throw-in, though.
Yeah.
A very deep throw-in for the Richmond Kickers.
Kicker's going to be trapped in their own corner here with just a few minutes left to go. Kyle Smith is leaving that ball.
And no Kickers player, again, inclined to take the throw-in. Eventually, it looks like it's going to be Jason Yaisley. From about 5 yards, 10, 15 yards up the field from where that ball went out of bounds.
That ball bounced in and then out again. So it's going to be a Lou City throw-in. That's probably, weirdly, a wise play.
Yeah. The wind agrees.
Shinosky brings it forward. Now it's with Kay. It's intercepted.
You ready for You ready for the yellow card from Kay? That absolutely looked like it was going to be a professional foul.
He was careful enough to slow him up.
He was. It was a really good defensive work from Kay in the end to hustle back to get goal side and just make the Kickers so uncomfortable that eventually the ball's turned over. Louisville now in possession, crossing midfield again.
Carl Smith has it. Carl Smith goes left to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo into the feet of Kay, gives it him back. Wasn't long enough for the crowd to boo properly. Del Piccolo cuts back to Kay. Kay, left-footed cross, looking for Illich. It's bounced just
Not
wide.
sure if that was looking for Illich or looking for the back
Top
corner. Yeah. Either way, it's out for a goal kick, and we're going to have one more substitution for the Richmond Kickers. Travis Pittman coming on. And we won't have that substitution. Instead, we'll have the full-time whistle here at City Stadium. It finishes 0-0. I would say a hard-fought game, literally and figuratively.
In the end, it's a hard-fought point for the Richmond Kickers.
Absolutely.
They spent 20 minutes with 10 men. I'd say Lou City may be disappointed they didn't get 3 points here.
I think so. I think you're going to have a few questions about some calls that maybe could have been given. I think Louisville very displeased that they didn't get that call in the box for the penalty. A few other ones getting bodied off the ball here and there. But generally speaking, it was a very physical game. When it's physical, when you don't have the best conditions, it can lead to results like 0-0.
I'm watching Lee Cowdershaw to see if he's going to talk to the referee.
Well, he's already done the sarcastic applause, so we'll see if maybe he just, says well done to his players and well done to the Louisville players. Looks like no drama on the field, no lingering resentment either way.
All's good.
All's good.
I was a little worried about that. I'm glad to see.
I think the only player that all isn't good for is Travis Pittman, who was waiting to come in and instead got Perry Kitchened. Looked like that substitution was going to happen. Instead, I think we're going to have Travis Pittman do his customary 100-yard dashes.
He does a sort of is it a warm down or just like expend the energy that I was planning to use?
Yes and yes.
Yeah. So now he's got even more to do.
He was hoping maybe he'd get 1 or 2 runs in and not have to do so many after the game. But I guess you're right, Joe. I think maybe first half, if you're Louisville, you're pleased to get on the road, having had so many games, to keep it 0-0, and then you make those halftime adjustments. And I think you're right that at the end, maybe not so pleased to not be able to get a point, or to get the point, but maybe not be able to get 3 points, not be able to get that goal. When it seems like you did make the smart substitutions, and they did certainly dominate the game, at least from a possession standpoint, in the second half.
I also read a blog, Purple City Kingdom, or Purple Kingdom City. They're essentially, the fans of Lou City were saying they're glad just to get through this period of multiple games, get through it unscathed, and then let the team have a week to recover.
I could also be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Louisville has played a fair number of their games on the road so far this season, so I think it looks like maybe they'll have a much more comfortable run-in. For the Richmond Kickers, that unbeaten home record continues. It continued this week in the U.S. Open Cup with a 4-0 victory. Now it continues here with a 0-0 draw. So still undefeated at home are the Richmond Kickers, and I think they're okay with that given the way things went, given that red card. I think it's a good defensive performance from the Kickers here tonight at City Stadium.
And Kickers will be back at City Stadium next Saturday, May 28th, 7 p.m.
Indeed. Well, we will be here for that one.
Yeah, we will.
Hopefully, maybe sunnier conditions. We've had a fair amount of rain in Richmond. We could do with not having to worry about field conditions.
So thank you to everybody who watched the broadcast. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to the camera crew. And thank you to Mike for letting me know about the Louisville Slugger. On behalf of Tony and myself, it is goodbye from us.
Stretched out to the middle, back to
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score.